Hi, this is Diana from DianaRoseKottle.com. Today I want to talk about this idea that we put ourselves out there, we take these risks, and then people continue to disappoint us. So how do we, as I call it, dip our toe in the river of courage? Do the things that are so challenging for us to do, facing our biggest fears, and then when we're met with essentially the same proof that hurt us in the first place showing up, how do we deal with that? How do we manage that? I wrote an article that's called Consciously Healing Our Toxic Emotions, and someone had written a comment asking, basically saying that I am dipping my toe in the water and then I basically can't trust people because they continue to hurt me. That was the essence of the comment. And it really got me thinking that this is why it is so important to really heal and clean up our own stuff. That it's this idea, it's a fine line of taking responsibility. So it's not about blame, but it's about noticing that we continue to hold this charge inside of us that reacts. So that rather than responding from a space of more detachment, of a higher perspective, of distance, of being able to see the situation, we collapse into the patterns and we essentially react. We go into this reaction. So there's reaction and there's response. Just like we can choose, we can be unconsciously choosing or we can be consciously choosing. So the idea is that, yes, even when you have courage and you dip your toe in this river of truth, in this river of courage, in this space of being super brave and authentic and putting yourself out there, yeah, you may still get burned. The idea, though, is to learn that you can take care of yourself when you do get burned, that it's not permanent, that it isn't actually damaging you to your core, that you can start to develop these skills and tools that help you to have essentially a thicker skin so that when the fire comes in, you go, oh, you know what? I'm going to pause this. I don't have to react in the same way. And again, I do realize that this isn't consciously that we're thinking, oh, I want to react, and we do it so fast. It's these hair trigger reactions. If you've heard that word, that's essentially what it means. It's like that, we're in it. And so part of it is really about slowing down the process, and that the more we do this and the more we practice it, the more we shift. And this is why it is so important to focus on gratitude, not as a way of denying and avoiding what's happening. Whatever is going on, sure, it's happening. And when we can lift ourselves above it and find what we're grateful for and shift our frequency, shift our focus, then we actually can start to find essentially the cracks, the light that can get in these structures that have felt so solid to us. So my offering is this, is really learn how to be still and present with yourself, seek the help and support that you may need, and really with a kind, loving, compassionate, empathic brushstroke, looking at all these ways that you have been hurt and injured. And instead of just focusing on the pain, while we want to shine light on it, it's about looking at the pain and then what's the gift, what's the lesson, what's the opportunity in there, really mining for the jewels, the gems, the diamonds, the silver lining that lies within everything. So that way you can start to have a totally different experience of your life. So I would love to hear in comments below on Facebook about what your experience is with this, what you need support on, how else I could support you. So I hope this is useful, and just regardless, I'd love to give people food for thought to start opening and expanding our consciousness and awareness about these really important topics. So thank you so much. And again, you can find me at DianaRoseKottle.com.